Today, we're diving into something called the Nova effect. And trust me, it's an idea that might just flip everything you think you know about good luck, bad luck, and, well, the very events that shape our lives.
So let me ask you this. I want you to really sit with it for a second. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? A paradox. How could the absolute lowest point of your life also be the best thing that ever happened to you? It's a real head-scratcher, and that's the puzzle we're going to try and piece together today.
All right, so to really get a grip on this, we're not going to start with some dry, complex theory. No. We're going to start with a story about a guy, his dog, and a chain of events that is, well, almost too wild to believe.
So meet Eric, and Eric is about to go on an absolute roller coaster. I'm talking about a series of events so bizarre, so up and down, it's going to make him question everything he thought he knew. Let's dive in.
Okay, so just look at how fast things flip for Eric. First, day one, he loses his dog, Nova. Absolutely devastating, right? Just terrible luck. The guy is heartbroken. But then, a week later, Nova comes back. She's returned by a woman named Vanessa, and get this, they fall in love. It feels like the luckiest thing that's ever happened to him. But hold on, the ride isn't over. 2 months later, bam! He's in a serious car accident. Horrible luck, no question. Or is it? Because the very next day, a brain scan from the accident reveals something, a dangerous tumor. And because they found it, they caught it just in time. The horrible accident literally saved his life.
And that right there, that's the moment it all clicks for Eric. Lying in that hospital bed, he realizes he has absolutely no way of knowing what's on the other side of anything that happens to him. The worst day of his life led to the best thing, which was only possible because of another terrible thing. It's a complete paradox. And that paradox, that's the heart of what we're talking about today.
So this incredible story from Eric and his dog, Nova, specifically, is what gives this whole idea its name. So let's put a pin on the story for a second and actually define it. What is the Nova effect?
Okay, so here it is. The Nova effect is basically the theory that every single thing that happens in life is like tossing a stone into a pond. You see the splash, right? That's the immediate event. But the real story is in the ripples. Those ripples spread out in every direction, in ways we just can't predict. And that's why judging something as good or bad right away is kind of like trying to judge an entire movie based on the first 5 seconds. It just doesn't work.
And you know, this isn't some brand new idea. There's this ancient parable about a farmer who goes through the same kind of roller coaster. His horse runs away. Bad luck, say the neighbors. The horse comes back with more horses. Good luck, they say. His son breaks his leg. Bad luck. Then the army comes to town to draft young men, but his son is spared because of his broken leg. And through it all, the farmer just says, "Who's to say if it's good or bad?" He just gets it. He knows the first chapter isn't the whole book.
So let's really break down the main principles here. First, an event's real impact, it's hidden. You can't see it right away, which means our initial judgments, our gut reactions, are almost always wrong, or at least incomplete. Life isn't this simple straight line from A to B. It's more like a chaotic web. And this last one, I mean, wow, this really makes you think. Luck is just chaos that is temporarily worked in your favor. Chew on that for a second.
So you can see how this starts to lead us down a pretty deep rabbit hole, right? I mean, if we can't really label things good or bad, then what's really driving the ship here? Are our lives all part of some grand pre-written script? Is it all just random chaos? Or is there something else going on?
You know, people have been wrestling with this for ages. You've got 2 big camps. On one side, you have determinism. That's the idea that life is like a set of dominoes already lined up. Everything is fated. Eric had to lose his dog so he could meet Vanessa and find the tumor. It was all meant to be. Then, on the complete other side, you've got existentialism. This view says, nope, it's all just random chaos. There's no built-in meaning. We're just here, and it's up to us to create our own purpose from the mess.
But what if it's not so black and white? The Nova effect kind of suggests a third way of looking at it. What if it's both? What if life is this wild, chaotic dance between things we can't control, like the random chance of a car accident, and the choices we make in response to that chaos? It's not just fate, and it's not just chance. It's a mix.
Okay, so this is all really interesting stuff to think about, but let's bring it back down to earth. What does this actually mean for you and me? Why should we care? Well, this is where it gets really powerful. The whole point of the Nova effect isn't just to be a cool theory, it's about how we can use it. And it all comes down to one thing, the stories we tell ourselves.
Listen, this is probably the most important part of this whole explainer. You can't control the ripples, period.
You have zero control over what the long-term consequences of today will be. But what you can control, what you have 100% power over, is the story you tell about it, the narrative you create. That's where your power is.
I mean, really think about it. What's the actual difference between a setback and an opportunity? Or between a tragedy and a lesson? The event itself is the same. The only thing that's different is the story we attach to it. You know, getting laid off could be the end of the world, or it could be the exact push you needed to finally start that business you've been dreaming about. The only difference is the story you choose to believe.
So, how do you actually do this? Here's a simple 3-step guide. Step 1. Just embrace the uncertainty. Give yourself permission to not know. Let go of that need to immediately slap a good or bad label on everything. Step 2. Become the author of your own story. When something tough happens, you get to rewrite the narrative. Instead of being a victim of circumstance, you can choose to be the protagonist on a challenging journey. And Step 3. Focus on the journey, not the destination. The meaning isn't at the finish line somewhere. It's in how you walk the path, how you handle the twists and turns right now.
All right, let's wrap this all up with one last thought. A final way to frame this whole idea.
Look, at the end of the day, the Nova effect isn't some magic formula that's going to tell you the meaning of life. It doesn't have all the answers. But what it does offer is maybe something even better, an invitation. It's inviting you to stop fighting reality, to stop trying to force certainty onto a world that is fundamentally uncertain. It's an invitation to, well, to dance with the chaos, to live a little more bravely in the face of the unknown.
And so I want to leave you with this one last question to really think about. Imagine your life is a masterpiece being painted. Every single event, the good, the bad, the joyful, the heartbreaking, even the mistakes that get painted over. Every single brushstroke is essential to the final picture. If you really, truly accepted that every single part of your story is a necessary piece of the art, how would you live differently today?